think, as you say, it was England's game to lose. They were in such a good position and had basically battered Australia out of the game, and at one stage only needed a run of ball. And I said at the start, or prior to that game, it was a case of being able to adapt to the conditions. I think that the players would have learnt from that first innings that it did become harder to bat on, because someone like Meg Lanning, when she's got to 20, she usually kicks on, but even she couldn't find the boundary, which tells you something about the nature of the pitch. So I think where England went wrong is pretty obvious. Just needed some more cool, calm heads under pressure, and unfortunately just gave ourselves too much to do towards the end, and dug ourselves a bit of a hole, panicked a little bit, and that led to blinkered thinking, playing across the line, not playing percentage cricket, which I think is absolutely crucial when it comes to chasing down a score, especially in a knockout situation, and just clear thinking. And yes, there was a lot of talk about the girls could be fitter. I think the girls are fitter than probably 2-3 years ago. I think the key thing is that they just couldn't handle pressure, and whether they need to be put in more pressure situations at domestic level, in games that they play against other international teams, whereby, for example, Pakistan are coming over this summer, do they need to challenge themselves? If Pakistan set a score of 100 in 20 overs, right, they need to get those runs in 12 overs. So I think that's just where it went wrong for England in the end. Yeah, I think what this tournament has told us is that form in the group stages means nothing, and you get to the knockouts, it's all about how you play on the day. New Zealand obviously looked pretty much the best team throughout the competition, even better than Australia. Obviously they beat Australia and England, and chasing down a score again, they got themselves into trouble. I think initially we'll talk about the first innings and Brittany Cooper coming in to the game. It was a gamble by the captain and the coach, and it obviously paid off. A big gamble to make in a semi-final of a world event, but she'll be absolutely delighted that she's been able to contribute. And I think for Stefanie Taylor as well, it takes a bit of pressure off her, and Deandra Dottin as well. If they have Brittany Cooper who can come in and bat the majority of overs, then Deandra Dottin becomes even more of a force towards the end, because she can just go and play her natural game. So that was obviously a key moment for them that she fired. And I do also think that they were in a really good position to make 160, but they would have been happy with 140 odd at the halfway stage. New Zealand in reply, we said at the top that the middle order hadn't really spent too much time in the middle, and it was the top four that had been doing all the work. And if the West Indies could have picked up a couple of wickets, then maybe a bit of uncertainty could creep in, and that's exactly what happened. And the key moments there, Sophie Devine, who was looking very good at the crease and playing quite freely, Deandra Dottin's run out of her was a moment of brilliance for the West Indies, and just turned the game on its head. And then New Zealand absorbed the pressure. They had Amy Satterthwaite and Sarah McGlashan who batted a number of overs and just turned the ball around and worked the ball around, manipulated the field. But again, they probably left themselves a little bit too much to do, and that's a common theme, I think, in women's cricket, that especially in India, you get to tens and over, and actually that's hard to chase, and that they probably had too much to do when they decided to go after Stefanie Taylor. Out 2 balls, and Sarah McGlashan will be absolutely devastated with that shot that she played straight to the fielder. But that was, again, the kind of final killer blow, really, for New Zealand. So yeah, I think the West Indies have got a good opportunity in this final, and a pitch as well in Calcutta that turns a bit more and is a bit slower than the ones in Mumbai and Delhi. I think the West Indies spinners will come into it more, because they were perhaps a little bit negated in that game in Mumbai. I think the one thing that will give Australia confidence is the fact that they've been here so many times before and they've got across the line. So experience is so crucial in a final, in a knockout game. And I think they will go into it as the favourites. For the West Indies, though, I think, you know, they can blow hot and cold, and I just hope that they turn up on the day and play the best cricket that they can. I think whoever bats first has a better advantage, certainly at Calcutta, where the pitch can generally get slower and turn more. And also the common theme that we're seeing in the women's tournament certainly is that teams have really struggled to chase. I mean, we saw it with India against the West Indies. We saw it in both the semi-finals. England in 3 games, I think, against the West Indies and India as well, they had a bit of a collapse. So that's going to definitely play a part. And when it gets to that second innings, it's going to be about who keeps their nerve. And I think another reason for England perhaps stuttering in that second innings was because Australia fielded brilliantly, and I think that will come into play in this final, is that Australia probably better fielders than the West Indies, so they'll be looking for twos.
Yes.
When actually probably they can only get a one, and I mean they would have come across that against New Zealand as well, but they're just things that you need to bear in mind when you're facing better opposition. For Australia, their key players, Meg Lanning, the top 2 firing against England, I think will give them confidence. And you can never write off someone like Elise Perry and Alex Blackwell, who hasn't had to do too much in the middle. And her experience will be absolutely vital, I'm sure, if the West Indies make inroads. So, we're all set up for a good game of cricket.